You are listening to the Built to Grow podcast, delivering the knowledge in all things fitness business. We help gym owners win. Here are your hosts, Tim Lyons and Randy Engston.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, as always, joined by Randy, the liaison of Legacy Engston. What is up, buddy?
How we doing today?
Good. Little afternoon sesh.
Yeah.
Still haven't broken into the whiskey. You know what? It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
Second episode.
Yeah.
For the day. We're going to get that whiskey
We're
going.
going to get some whiskey flowing.
A couple things to note here, guys. If you are interested in our automation, we do have a course coming out. If it's not out already, you can check out clacourse.com. That's CLA, like Client Lifecycle Automation, course.com. That's going to be a do-it-yourself, kind of do it from the house. If you can't make it out to a workshop, if you can't do the custom with us, we can still help you by doing the course. And so you can check that out there at clacourse.com. I'm excited about that. That's just about wrapped up.
Yeah. Yep. We're almost there. That's exciting. I love that because, again, back to problem solution, it allows us to be in a lot more gyms than those that could be here with us.
And those calls, we just had our support call today for that. In the course, of course, the course will have support in there as well. And, it'll be good. I think it's a good next best solution if you can't make it in person. I think that coming in person is going to get you the best bang, right? You're going to get it knocked out for sure. You have to be a go-getter to make sure you're actually going to do the course because, think about the books you've bought, the courses you've bought that just sit on the shelf and you just haven't done them. So hopefully that's not you. But, so check that out, clacourse.com. We got a good episode today. We're going a little deeper in the leadership side of it because, as business owners and gym owners, you do have to be a leader, and there's some personal development stuff that kind of goes along for the ride when you're in this position, in this seat. And, we want to make sure that we're as professional as individuals, as business owners as we can be. Kind of gone are the days of the hobbyist kind of, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but the kind of unprofessional trainer. I think that's kind of long gone from the 80s.
Sure.
But, still there's a negative connotation around the word personal trainer. Fitness coach, we use that word to try to get away from
break
personal,
some of the stigma. Sure.
Some of the stigma, we use that word, but if and I just Googled before, I think it's come a long way, but like even 2-3 years ago, I'd Google personal trainer on Google and look at the images, and you would see what people think of personal trainers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just think of, Hollywood's got a great way of throwing stigmas and things like that out there. Like if you think of personal trainers in the last 10 years in a movie, Pain and was it Pain and Gain? Mm-hmm. That whole scene, that beach body vibe, that scene stands out to me. That is That's kind true. Of what I picture of the 80s, 90s scene. Brad Pitt's character in Burn After Reading.
Same thing.
It's exactly what I'm sure the majority of people, and you can't blame them. This is what society makes it seem like, everybody is. But, we have to do kind of our due diligence to make sure we don't fall into those categories and break away from that. And the professionalism goes along with that. Obviously, the hiring side, we know how wild this industry is compared to other industries when it comes to candidates for positions and things like that.
It's the Wild West sometimes. We've been running an ad on Indeed for a while, and, we'll get tons of apps. Mm-hmm. But to get somebody to answer the phone, to get somebody to actually come in after we decided on a time, it's unfortunate. The professionalism just isn't there, and I don't know if that's society. And we talked about about 15, 20 episodes ago, we talked about the millennials and the day and age of instant gratification, all that stuff. But we're having trouble, and I know a lot of our clients in the Iron Circle are still dealing with this and just trying to get people to show up for their interviews.
It's mind blowing to me, but is it a sign of the times? You know what I mean? Maybe we've got plenty of jobs out there for the first time in a while, or is it a fact
yes, but I also one of the Indeed when we had an Indeed consultant from Indeed have a call with us, and they said sometimes what will happen is when somebody's on unemployment, they have to show that they've applied.
They made attempts,
They've with no intention
of actually
ever
acquiring a job.
Yeah. Isn't that sad? So they can still get their unemployment checks.
Yeah. I maybe it's just the fact of like, again, back to this conversation, personal growth, being the type of individual you want to be, and like the path that you decide to the things you execute in order to be that person.
Right.
I do not understand that type of mentality.
Well, it's not you.
But that's what I mean. Like, I just trying to put myself in their shoes. Like, I can't.
It's the easy way.
But that's exactly it. It's like the person who is happy receiving a check without putting any work in. There is nothing. It's not sustainable. It's not a sustainable.
Well, there's millions
situation.
of Americans in that position.
Absolutely, but I mean, at some point,
the welfare
it's going
checks
to get,
and they'll get unemployment checks and all that stuff just to kind of live life. And they're, if they're given everything, there's no incentive to do anything. So
true.
So
exactly.
let's take this to the gym ownership, the business owner level. Okay, so when we first open businesses, we have this kind of grandiose dream of what that's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't, but like most of the time,
you hope that they do.
You open a business, it's going to be rainbows and butterflies. I'm going to be on the beach, and the business is going to be like printing cash, and I'm just going to be rolling, baby. Because that's, again, you look business owner up on Google, and that's what you see. Like that's the
misconception of the 4-hour work week type of thing.
Well, right, but you've got this kind of thing that you want, and then you're here, right? You're at square one, or maybe you're 5-6 years into your business at this point, and it's not where you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you get to a point to where you decide internally, if I keep going down this path, I'm going to be in the same position next year than I am now. And you decide to seek help.
Yeah.
Right. You look for, and sometimes this is the order of order of thought process. What's the quick fix silver bullet? That might be okay, what is the problem that I'm facing? Oh, it's leads. Let me get leads, and that doesn't solve your problem. And then you start looking at maybe hiring a coach, and this is where we come in, and we've got plenty of appointments that get booked every single week with us. Yeah. And then you have calls.
I do.
Take me through some of those calls.
A lot of them are kind of back to that first step, right? It's the immediate gratification of those calls. Are you trying to cue me up for the one thing that drives me nuts about these calls?
Sure. What drives you nuts?
Not showing up for the calls.
So you get a call booked.
So here, let me take you through. Right, in my opinion, somebody goes to our website. They obviously have done so because they're in a position of help. They're looking for something more. They leave their information for us. They fill out a form that gives us some information about their business.
Right.
I call them at the time that they've pre-selected for on their schedule, works with my schedule, the time that they want to communicate, and then they don't answer. And when they don't answer, you go to leave a voicemail, and then the voicemail's full. And then you reach out to them via email, and you never hear back. And then all of these problems, to me, that tells me something about the way that person handles their entire business.
So what you're saying is how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Exactly. It's the whole, right from the, we've heard everybody say, make your damn bed in the morning, right? You're setting the tone for your day. It's the simple things. It's the small things. That stuff bubbles up. And I do believe that the way that you do the small things is the way that you do the large. And so for me, I kind of chuckle because everybody is always going to need new leads. New leads is how you grow a business, always. New business is always a focus. Mm-hmm. If that is your number one thing in business that you need, and then clients have the potential of calling your phone number and not being able to leave you a message, are the gym owners aren't calling every single number that calls back. No. How much money are you leaving on the table just by not even having your voicemail available?
Oh, at the gym?
Or
yeah. No, I know.
Or a website that actually, is functioning or captures a lead if somebody wants to pursue information. So there's just things about the individual in the seat that I think they can do differently that will allow the activities in their life or the results in their life to change. My opinion, you're probably the type of individual who has leads coming in or has people trying to grow, trying to come into your business, but you're making it difficult for them to do so. I'm a big believer that you can't complain about something that you're unwilling to do yourself.
Unwilling to change, or unwilling?
Well, I mean, not necessarily do. Like we had that kind of conversation. If you are the type of individual who are complaining that people aren't showing for your consultations, but you're the type of individual who doesn't follow through with your obligations to other consultations,
then you can't complain about.
Then what do you have to complain about? I mean, you're literally doing the same exact thing to another business that you're complaining about somebody doing to yours.
Yeah, it's hypocritical.
It is,
for sure, but well, yeah. I mean, why book the appointment if you're not going to follow through? So yeah, I don't think I've ever been that person to where purposefully stood somebody up. Like if I have an obligation or if I've got a place to be at a specific time, I'm going to be there.
Exactly. Or you're going to do some due diligence to allow the person that you're supposed to meet with to understand that you're not going to be there. Either, hey, I'm running late. Hey, something came up, I can't make it.
Yep.
If you missed it because, let's say, you were client-facing and you physically couldn't just reach out to that person, you follow up after the fact and say, hey, I'm really sorry. This came up. Sure. I'm still interested in meeting with you. Can we reschedule?
Sure.
Like
close the loop.
Exactly. Like there's some things about being an individual that attracts other individuals to that type of person.
It attracts the same type of
exactly.
Yeah.
If you want to work with if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room type of thing. If you're trying to surround yourself with people who are going to trust, respect the process that you have in your business, make sure that you're the type of individual that's exemplifying those leadership qualities. It's the same thing that happens with your team. You know what I mean? There are a lot of owners and leaders in general, fitness and outside, that lead with a do as I say, not as I do mentality, as opposed to, hey, let me go show you how this is done and let's go. You know, and I truly believe that a really good, successful leader is the one that sets a game plan, turns around and says, hey, let's go. You know, you have a path for
or is willing to do that kind of work.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I guess there's different takes, but yeah, I would agree 100% to what you're saying. If you're not willing to do the things that are required of you, you can't expect other people to do that.
And these are simple things. I'm not saying, the tasks in your business, like I understand as the gym owner, you might delegate certain tasks as you should. It's not a lack of willingness. Put it this way. If you as the gym owner were walking through your gym and you notice the garbage had to go out, you're never going to be the type that walks past it and says, it's not my job.
No. There are people like that.
There are people like that.
Yeah.
Now, I understand the corrective actions that need to happen, but it's the belief. It's the almost like an ego. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm beyond that. It's below my pay grade. It's below my time. When complete refusal to do something like that. If you know what I mean.
It's pretty funny. I'm working with a new kind of Google ad agency right now, and kind of working through some of the nuances of working with this new team and everything. And I had a text message one of my rep on a Saturday or something, and I could see that she read it, and then I sent another one. I see that she read it, and didn't respond. And then on Monday, she let me know, I got your messages. I just don't respond to anybody for work except for Monday through Friday. Right there, I'm probably going to fire him because it was a simple question. You answer the question, but there's this line in the sand. You can't, 5 p.m. Friday night, I can't, this is my time. I never have been that person. And I don't like my coaches, everybody's kind of available. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to respond, and it can go a long way, but probably going to lose their business from me. That's the way I operate.
Well, I would take it back even further because that should have been established prior to the conversation, because she obviously failed to set expectations.
Well, I talked to the owner of that company, and she said, well, if we don't do that, then our clients take advantage of us.
Which I can understand, but then your business has to be structured that way, and it has to be known.
I don't know.
And it has to be...
Put a bad taste in my mouth. I mean, just one of those things like, really? I mean, we really talking about 5 p.m. on a Friday, then we don't talk until Monday at 8? Nothing can happen during these times? I just don't. I don't know. I'm different.
Depends on the business. For me, think of traditional businesses. There's businesses that there is nobody after 5 o'clock, and it's a 9 to 5 business.
Well,
You know what I mean?
government position, of course.
Yeah. But I mean, I can see both sides too, because I mean, from a financial standpoint, if that individual was billing the company for their time and their clients were reaching out on the weekends, and then it cost the company more money to service them on the weekends, or if it's a payroll thing for an employee and they're not being taken care of. I mean, like it depends.
Well,
if you're working from a personal cell phone, it's always on you. There's no reason.
She said that I don't pay my people to work on weekends, and I'm like, dude, that took 30 seconds. They're gonna try to give you shit for that. I don't know. Maybe you got the wrong employees. I don't know. I'm just totally different. I come from a different. I've never been the employee, and even when I was in construction, dude, 60, 70-hour weeks were normal, and you only got paid a salary. So, like, really, what am I making? I'd never looked at it that way.
Yeah, but you got to understand, too, you're putting yourself in a unique situation. The standard is not that.
I know.
I can tell you that if I worked for a different organization that was more corporate structured and larger, I would not answer my phone after 5 o'clock for
so you're
something
that
I
person.
did. Absolutely. My time is more valuable than theirs. At some point there is a fine line about usury. And again, I'm not going to negate my client that I have not established that with. I mean, our clients contact us 24/7. I mean, 24/7. I'm not turning them away, but that's the agreement that we have with our clients in this position. Structured corporate larger organizations don't have that. You leave at 5 o'clock, you clock out, you leave your work at work.
Well,
but that's, again, it's the structure of the business, it's the intention. You as the client and as the customer, that business failed to set that expectation from the get-go.
Up front. Yeah, well, no, they definitely didn't tell me what the rules were. And if I knew those rules, I still probably wouldn't want to work with them.
But you might also, it depends on what it is, right? If you knew, I mean, think of a software company. You know what I mean? Like the majority of their staff is going to be working a 9 to 5. They might have part-time support after hours, but you know exactly who and where to go to. You know what I mean?
So that brings up the question, as far as, and this was part of one of our last meetings, like after the week or on the weekends, is it okay if the clients reach out to our coaches for stuff? And we decided yes, it's okay, because the client relationship with the coach is a lot of times happens, like you're at a restaurant or you got a question about the meal plan or something, like you're trying to figure out the answer, and if you don't respond, what are we really doing? And we all decided if it's a quick thing and it's like I can answer it right now and I'm not like in the middle of something, sure, we'll do it. And that was kind of the norm. But I know, I'm sure there's laws that you got to pay them for the 30 seconds of work. Well,
and think of the way it's structured from the first place too. As an employee on a salary in a corporate situation, it's never in the benefit of the employee. You don't get, hey, just don't come to work for 3 days. You know what I mean? Or hey, just go home early all the time. Like, you always are working a 9 to 5. It's always the overage, which always falls in the company's benefit. You know what I mean? So it takes the right type of person to be in that position also, though. You know what I mean?
You got to be okay with it. Sounds like you're not for certain situations.
I say it all the time. I'm intellectually unemployable. Like, if I would freak out sitting in a cubicle.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just, you know what I mean? But I also, like, I'm willing to take more of the risk on myself for more of the reward.
Right.
That's why we're in different seats. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand I say it like I probably would answer all those texts, you know what I mean? But I understand an employee's in a position willing to, or like at certain times, I honestly would have 2 different cell phones if that was the way it was. Or my point of contact for my clients would only be my work number, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I would not be checking those questions and blowing up. There's no way I'm doing that.
Yeah, well, whatever. But that just goes into the situation. What we're talking about, leadership. Are you willing to do the things that you want your clients to do? And are you or not? I mean, if you're not, then you can't complain the other way.
That's what it comes down to, is the hypocrisy of it.
So like, for instance, your clients are coming in to do a consultation with you at the gym, and they no-show you, and it pisses you off, but then you go and do the same thing.
You do the same thing to other people? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a tough one. So the challenge, I guess the challenge for the gym owners is, are you the type of person you want your clients to be? Are you a leader? Are you the type of person you want your employees to be? Are you a leader there? And if you're not, maybe look at yourself and is like, is this okay with me, or do I need to make changes? If you're fine with it, then you're fine with it.
Sure.
We're just making a point to kind of maybe a self-evaluation kind of set up here, because there's a lot of people unhappy with their businesses right now. There are. But then they're also unwilling to do the things it takes to make the changes for the better.
And that's a lot of it. I mean, working with our coaching program, right? Like, guys, we live in the time, like 90% of the answers to everything lives on Google. I mean, Google is a resource. If you need to know how to run a Facebook ad, if you need to know how to do whatever, like there is information right there. Mm-hmm. The difference is few will actually utilize the information and go do the work themselves, right? Leadership's the same way. I am a big fan of organizations that have a structured leadership program that allow clients or staff to invest in certain programs to better their job or better their performance or raise their personal
like
standards.
Reading books or
book of the month club or courses available or things like that. That's how, I mean, organizations that invest in their people in ways for growth, I think are some of the most valuable things you could bring into your business, as opposed to free pizza Fridays or, the other traditional ways of kind of keeping people happy.
Yeah.
I love watching organizations that structure force growth. You invest in your employees. Mm-hmm. One of the cool things about being at the workshop at Keep, their team let us know that it was a recommendation that each of their employees have a full-time business outside of being an employee, that they are using their product in a business outside of selling their product, supporting the product, or whatever their responsibilities be with Keep. I thought that was powerful.
That's pretty interesting.
I mean, especially as somebody who's either technical support, sales on the software platform, using the platform yourself.
Go use the software for yourself so you learn it more and you can leverage it and cool.
Yeah, it was really unique for them, but that's something that obviously Clayton and the founders saw value in, and that they've instilled that forced growth into their organization.
Yeah. Wonder how many do it.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Bet you not a lot.
No, probably not.
That's probably the truth. So here we are. We're on this podcast to try to help gym owners win, and really the takeaway for this is exactly what we've been saying. Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to, or are you just going to want it? Like everybody wishes for something and they want, I wish I was making, $150,000 a month, but are you willing to do what it takes to get there? Is it? And if it's not, then you can't complain.
Exactly.
If it is something you're willing to do the work for, then are you going to do, willing and doing are another thing. So I don't know. Maybe it's a kick in the ass for somebody listening today. Maybe it's a self-examination of like what their own values and what they're doing or what their staff is doing. Because I would tell you, when you have a staff that isn't listening to what you're saying, and there's gym owners that I'm talking to right now and coaching that their staff's taking advantage of stuff and they're not doing the things. It probably comes back to the leadership of the owner or the manager, whoever, or director. So
whoever they're answering to.
Take a good look there first before we start, thinking it's always the employee's fault.
Well, and it goes back to the way that we structured our coaching program also. We begin with the mindset of the owner. It's not the mindset of the entire team. No. We don't work with every individual. We work with the capstone of that the facility. And in these organizations, it rolls downhill. You know what I mean? Your employees should emulate from your success, from your leadership, from your action, so showing up every day for, allowing your employees to see that you want to be part of this team, that you're here for the same things, doing the work the same way that they are. It doesn't have to be the same work. It doesn't have to be the level of, taking the garbage out.
Yeah.
But the willingness and leading from the front as opposed to being that leader
pushing
boss
from the back.
Who's pushing everyone from the back.
Yeah.
Expecting the result.
You've seen that picture.
It kind of constantly comes to mind, right? Because, and we've all seen it. We all see other people in organizations that we know run things very well. And it's like, wow, it's probably enjoyable working for that person, as opposed to the bosses who are out there cracking whips and really just doing it to force anybody into the benefit that they're looking out for, but they're unwilling to do the work themselves.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Yeah. All right. Well, figured we throw this kind of curveball at everybody because it's not really. It's just a different podcast episode. We were just talking about it last week, and I was like, you know what? Let's just bring this up and see what kind of feedback we get on it. Love to hear from you guys. I will tell you that thank you very much. We've probably gotten 5 or 6 new reviews over the last couple days.
Oh, awesome! Beautiful.
Yeah. I've been looking at those, and that's really awesome that, we appreciate it. And that's really how we grow, right? This is how the word gets out. Is we're seeing this nice trend of where we kind of look at our weekly downloads, and this is growing. And I feel like it's growing because I feel like we're delivering on what you want to hear about. And if it's not what you want to hear about, obviously this was a little off topic from our normal stuff, which is cool sometimes. But, would love to hear about it. Shoot us an email. Or at admin@pfmarketingsolutions.com. That's kind of what we all get, that same email. We'd love to hear from you. But in the meantime, love those reviews, the ratings, and share this with a fellow gym owner that you feel like you'd use some value from it. All right, that's it for this episode, guys. We'll see you on the next one.